the white protesters of the George Floyd protests, the most comprehensive social protests in American history since the Dr. King assassination protests, resulted in nothing for black people, because the white people who infiltrated the march did so to dilute the direction, dilute the agenda, dilute the black power. And as a result of that, Negroes received nothing. Do you think those white people who marched in the George Floyd protests, do you think they care about what happened to Brother Waylon in Akron? Do you think they care about Ma'Khia Bryant? Do you think they care about Amir Pope and all the other countless numbers of black folks who've died before or since? But you Negroes are so in love with being accepted by a people who will never accept you, it's absolutely ridiculous. You Negroes are so in love with being accepted by a people who will never accept you. Let me read, well, I can't because I'm using both phones. But I was reading the workup by the media about Waylon. And they were saying that the police claimed they heard a gunshot out the window. They found a gun and a magazine on the seat in his car. Never said if it was his gun. Never said if it was legally registered or not. But the point I'm making, he had no weapon on his body, LeBron James. He had no weapon on his body at the time of the chase and the assassination. To justify 90 shots, to justify 90 shots, 60 of which took place, the police said in the dark, and this is a dark-skinned brother, my complexion. In the dark, they say, he stops, he turns, and it looks like he may have been going for a weapon. How about he stopped because there was nowhere to run? How about he turned because he was giving himself up? And how about what you lied and said was him reaching for a gun was nothing more than him getting ready to put his hands up in surrender mode? Waylon wasn't murdered because y'all thought he had a gun. You knew he didn't have a gun because the gun was on the seat. You saw the gun on the seat before you chased my brother down. You saw the gun on the street before you chased my brother down. So you knew he had no weapon. Waylon was murdered for daring to elude white police. Waylon was the symbolic runaway slave off the plantation. Waylon was a runaway slave trying to get away from his masters. Waylon was on the Underground Railroad trying to get free from his oppressors. And just like 200 years ago, just like 200 years ago, the slave master and the slave catcher and the slave overseer hunted that brother down in cold blood and executed him. On the plantation, you died for daring to be free. I need y'all to understand and overstand and understand me. I really need y'all to get this.